Can you even see the sign, or is it just, am I blocking all of the light? Can you see the sign? These never come with enough P's because I wanted that to say pop-up shop, but I had to say market shop Q&A. Same thing. Hey Cakenistas, it's Marisha. The Cakenistas have spoken. Y'all are making my pop-up shop and vendor event videos some of my fastest growing videos on the channel. With that, you are all asking so many great questions. So you know, it's 2024. We're doing pop-up shops. We are getting ourselves out there. We're going to jump into puddles. That is not a saying, jump into puddles that you never. We're gonna take a lot of leaps because a lot of you guys have written me comments saying that you're either about to do your first pop-up shop or you're thinking about doing your first pop-up shop and you just need some type of inspiration or motivation, or like, what do I do next? Where do I go with it? And how am I supposed to know with it? You have to do it. So let's get into all of your questions. Thank you so much. So I purposely don't exactly say where the events take place because I don't really want everybody on like the internet world to know where I am. Really, if you follow my fan page, you'll know where I'll be. Telling a small group of people, hey, this is where I'll be, versus telling everybody where I typically am, it's kind of like, as far as knowing approximately how many people are at each event, girl, half the time I'm too busy to even notice. The event planners don't even know. All they could really do is go by the Facebook invites that they send out. Those websites like Eventbrite, they'll require for you to purchase or reserve a ticket, even if it's free. And that way they have a head count. And that's really the closest that you can get. Ultimately, it's really hard to say, but I will try to guesstimate in my videos going forward. I use American buttercream, y'all. I literally use the same buttercream that most of you guys use. I just simply go above and beyond to keep my cakes from melting. Like, I do freeze my cakes overnight, especially when the temps are kind of high. I make sure that I travel carefully, safely, and every frosting is not made equally. When you are reaching those hotter summer days, which hopefully you're not out there in those hot days. No 10, sky high, okay? Oh, and my cupcakes are paying for it. Look at those bad boys. Okay? But when you're reaching those temperatures, then you need to change up your recipe. And I do that by adding shortening to my buttercream recipe because it has a higher melting point and it will prevent your frosting from melting faster. Trust me, okay? Because yeah, I've been that girl. I've never had frosting sliding off onto the table, but it was definitely tempting to hit the table. It was like, I'm coming down. You want to see this? So I actually keep my own inventory, and yes, I do have Square. So that is one great thing about it. Now Square has the option to allow your phone to read chip cards, which is crazy. I still can't. I'm like, what? Like, we can do this? Like, this is crazy to me, right? I also have the little original $10 or free if you're just using Square for the first time, their little sliding card reader. Yes, you could have a full-blown POS system that costs a couple of $100s. I'm not at that point where I feel like I need that. The thing is, I use Square, Venmo, Cash App, sometimes Zelle, and then cash, of course. So with 4 or 5 different methods, I will always have my book. I will have how many of everything, every item that I have out to sell. I will have the price of everything, and I will keep a tally. After I make a sale, I put down a tally mark. And that's how I know how many items I've sold, how much money I've made, how much profit I've made. I keep my books. If I had like a brick and mortar, then I probably would. I mean, I definitely would, because then what I look like with a notepad and a pen, talking about, okay. Y'all love the bread boxes that I use for cupcake holders. I get everything from Amazon. Everything from Amazon. I made it easy for you guys. Now, not everything that I use is available at this time. I cannot even find those same bread boxes. However, I found something similar. Something that I would actually use, something that I might purchase myself. I have made an Amazon Associates page that is literally titled Pop-Up Shop. I have everything that I use or would use on that list. So all you guys have to do is head to the description. And really, this is in all of these pop-up shop videos. Just head to the description and look for my Amazon associate link. Do we need light? Man, it's dark now. Aww. And I will take you in my arms. My life is the rule. This I promise you. So yes, I accept all payment methods. Cottage laws state that you shouldn't have things that cannot be held at room temperature. Typically, cakes can be held at room temperature. So you just don't want to go at high temps just to keep your decorations intact. I mean, but even if the stuff gets too hot, it's not supposed to technically go rancid. Unless you have something like a fresh whipped cream or possibly something like a flan. If you make desserts that require refrigeration, that is something that I would definitely want to take extra measures to keep cold. So majority of my cakes are not room temperature. They're actually either frozen or cold. I know this is how it seems. It wasn't actually the mall that was holding that event. And I don't know how it is at every mall, but I know at this mall, there will just be a person. It just takes a person that decides that they want to hold an event. This is to my knowledge. They contact the mall, the manager of the mall, I guess, the general manager, whomever, and they'll say, hey, I want to do an event. This is the idea. How much will you charge me? And then they give them a number, and then that person, it could be anybody, then goes out and seeks vendors and charges the vendors whatever they see fit to hold that spot and to make a profit. So I paid $75. All ready for business. For very, very popular malls, typically charge about $200. No idea how much it costs for them. I just know I've seen it range between $75 and $200. I may have even seen a $300 one. Do I need more light? So yeah, so most cakes are safe to eat without refrigeration. Now, if you have a cake that is filled with some type of whipped cream or custard, then that is something that could go rancid. So you would want to make sure that you are not at that. Now this is just based on food science, okay? You're not supposed to go past 4 hours within the temperature danger zone of 41 degrees to 141 degrees. That changes every couple years, that number, but typically 41 degrees to 141 degrees. If you are within that range, which most likely you are if you're out doing a vendor event, okay? You wouldn't want to be out there for more than 4 hours. And that's the safest thing. Just keep that in mind. This is how I keep my cakes cold, you guys. And these are awesome. I love these. These were like one of the best purchases that I made for my small business. And yes, this is the secret to how I keep my cakes cold, sometimes even frozen. I go straight from the freezer to freezer bags. These have been a game changer for me. Okay, this was a great question because I get this asked in person as well. Absolutely not. There is no way. There is no way. So to recap, I made 7 batches of cake total, 6 of them being vanilla. To my vanilla, I added golden Oreos, chocolate Oreos, pumpkin, banana, one just with spices, and then the last one with confetti sprinkles. And that's how I got all of this cake. This is all basically one batch of vanilla. Let me just give y'all a super, super honest answer. No one is baking your cake the same day to sell to you. Unless you are at a bakery that opens up at 4 a.m. to do the croissants and the bagels and the petit fours. No. When you watch Cake Boss and all those other cake shows and they take days to work on a cake, That's exactly it. They took days to work on a cake. I personally like to start about 3 days prior to. So I might bake the cakes. And honestly, these vendor events, these are for me, this is the easiest baking that I could do, way easier than an order. Cupcakes, I might do the day before because that's just, it's a cupcake. And then I freeze it. When I was in school, that's what I learned to do. I was taught by a pastry chef, hey you guys, all of these bakeries are baking the cakes ahead of time, wrapping them up to perfection, and then freezing them. And you can freeze them for weeks if you wrap them tightly and properly. And that is absolutely true. I did not believe that, but I tried it for myself and it is true. Now, I would not do that for a pop-up shop or for, you know, your own personal business, because that is the luxury, in my opinion, of someone like using a small business or a home baker to actually get their cake from. It's kind of like an unspoken trust thing. Like, I trust that you didn't like make my cake weeks ago, but definitely 2 to 3 days in advance is typical. And that's how I'm able to get so much done, because I do have a full-time job. Like, I wish I could just be home and just bake and bake and bake, but I'm not. I might have like 3 or 4 hours out of the day to designate time to baking if I'm lucky. So I will bake, I will put it in my deep freezer that I literally bought just for my cakes. That is all that goes in there. I'm not mixing, putting the ham, put the ham in the freezer. Don't put that chicken in the freezer, it's fine. And everything is in a airtight container or wrapped in plastic and in an airtight container or a Ziploc bag, something. Y'all, most of the time, these vendor events, I wake up at 5:30 to start. I go to sleep for an hour and my alarm goes off. Why? How could I bake 100 parfaits, 100 cupcakes, and then a whole bunch of treats the same day? That's impossible. Just adjust the menu. That's what I started doing. I literally just clicked, like light bulb just came on this year, or last year rather. Like, just adjust the menu, and that way you can still go out there and make business. Instead of a cupcake, do a whole bunch of mini bundt cakes. That's what I did. So I did bundt cakes with the glaze. You never have to worry about the glaze melting, ever. If anything, it'll make the cake better if it does. Okay, decorate it really nicely with like fresh fruit or something like that. Instead of a full slice cake with the layers with buttercream, just do a nice filling. Do cookies, do brownies, do blondies. That's the best part about being your own boss. You do not have to put yourself in a box. And if you do, you don't have to stay there. With that being said, you could show them what you usually offer and say, if you like to put an order in today, just let me know. Boom. My neck still hurts from the accent. You guys, there was only one event where I technically sold out, and that was that Christmas one, and that one's in the title, like how I sold out. 30 minutes left. Look at where we're at. That's all that's left in there. You guys, this is probably the most I've sold. Because I still left with like 4 cupcakes or something like that. But that was the only time that I got truly like close to really selling out. I've sold a lot, but I also bake a lot. I bake a lot and I bring a lot. Can I walk? Yeah. Can I move? Yeah, barely. Well, then keep on baking. That's how I am. I just don't want to be in a situation where it's like the middle of the event and I'm wishing, oh my goodness, I should have made more of this, I should have made more of that, I could have been selling this, I could have been selling that. I just hate to be like regretful of something that I didn't do. So I bake a lot. I bake a lot. I do.
Come back for some cupcakes if they're left.
I have plenty. I made like 100.
Yeah.
Okay. She's talking about the square clamshell containers and my parfait cups. Those were actually from the local party store. Those cups, they were in my first vendor video, the Couture dessert table. You guys, I loved those so much. I loved everything about those cups, and don't you know they were discontinued by the manufacturer. Now I get my parfait cups from Amazon. How big are the cups used for the cake parfaits? I go between 8 ounces and sometimes 12 ounces. I use a tablecloth and safety pins. Those are just safety pins. Grommets, that's with the little holes on the corners of the banner. Grommets are what the holes on the corners of the banner is called, and I just put a safety pin through there. Let me turn on this light. Is this too bright? If I turn on the light. Nope. I should have had this on the whole time. But the other #1 question is, how do I find my events? That is one of the easiest parts to this whole thing. I go to Google. I type in vendor event. I go to facebook.com. I type in vendor event near me. I type what I want to see. Ooh yeah, ooh yeah. I type where I want to be. Ooh yeah, this song is really coming together. I type what I want to do and where I'm trying to go with you. Yeah. That's my Mariah Carey not moment. No, but yeah. Okay, so Eventbrite, Facebook, and Google. The biggest tip that I can tell y'all right now is to be careful. Scamming of the vendor events is a thing. Say you find something, you click on the banner, you check out the page. Oftentimes, if you look at the comments, which I always do, because a lot of times the event planner will answer questions that you may have in the comment section, you will see someone in the comments that says, we still have space, it's limited, it's $30, direct message me or email me at to pay. Never, ever, ever trust the comment section. The flyer for the event will always have either the company or the contact information or the contact person. That is the person that you contact, nobody else. Don't even contact the person who posted the flyer unless it's an official page. A lot of scammers make fake Facebook pages and they post the same flyer as the reputable business, and so people get confused and they contact that person. And you can always tell the scammer's page because they will have either a letter as a profile picture, if not now, at some point they will, and they'll only have a handful of profile pictures. No real friends, no real life on Facebook, just that event. While you're there at the events, if you're like me, you're probably not going to talk to many people, but try to talk to at least a couple of people, at least the people who come to your table. Yeah, of course you're going to talk to them.
Somebody just pulled up beside me. I got to act normal.
Walk around just a little bit, not too much, because I'm very much an introvert. I would love to get to know everybody, but I'm shy. You can kind of sense what type of customer you have in front of you. Some customers want to talk. Some of them want to know everything that is on your table, how you made it. They want to know about you. They want to know where you're from, what got you into this. Like, if it's impressive, people have questions.
I like pie and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Where? Oh, you're all the way down by the beach.
Where are you in Nosley? Do you have like a store and you do it out of your house?
I'm gonna look out for you. And then there's the kind that they just want something to eat. And this looks really delicious and they don't want to talk. So I try to follow my customer's lead. I can go where they want to go. What people tend to do, and this is everywhere, like this is at my job too, they will ask each other questions about your product before they look at you and ask you. And you could be standing right there, but they don't know you and they don't feel comfortable for some reason asking you. So they'll say, do you think that's cherry or is that strawberry?
What's off the tree? Are these swimming things?
It don't matter, don't
And sometimes I'm just like, oh, I made it. I'm literally right here. So that's when you just chime in and, oh, that's, you know, that's strawberry. And that's when I kind of give them a whole breakdown and their face always kind of lights up because they want to know, but they don't feel comfortable to ask. So signage is great. Signage is everything. But people don't always even read. So just being ready to, you know, pop in and, you know, in case you're wondering, that's this, that's that, that's that. Let me know if you have any other questions.
What's that smell?
yours? Is that
This year, right?
It's chocolate and marshmallow. Yes, chocolate
36
marshmallow
you said?
graham crackers. Yeah. I thank y'all so much for being here with me, being here for this journey. This is a blast being able to do all of this with y'all. It's like the best part. Y'all make it everything it is. So if you have not done so yet, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I hope that I answered the majority of you guys' questions. This is a long video. I'm kind of hungry. Tastes like hot dogs though. That's all right. Bye, Cake-Nisas. Wow, that's a bit good in a sandwich.